Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritāmrta class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Srī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो कृष्णपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our discussion from Caitanya Caritāmrta Madhya lila. We are on chapter 17. So far we have heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He takes permission from the devotees and leaves for Vrindavan. The devotees headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai, they requested Mahaprabhu that please take somebody with you. And Mahaprabhu says, okay, I'll take somebody, but he should be very new but mature. Nutana Sangi Hoibe, Snigdhayaram. He should be a new devotee, but he should have a very good disposition, affectionate dispositions, and peaceful mind. Swarup Damodar, as soon as he hears this, he says, yes, we have one devotee. स्वरूप के यही बलभद्र भट्टाचार्य तोमते सुस्निग्ध बड़ा पंडित साधुआर्य. Oh, he is Balbhadra Bhattacharya. He has affection for you. He is a very learned scholar and he has wonderful qualities and he knows how to deal with other devotees. Arya. So Mahaprabhu, he accepts it. And Swarup Damodar says, please take one more Brahman with you. He will be the assistant of Balbhadra Bhattacharya. He will do the begging and Balbhadra Bhattacharya will cook. So Mahaprabhu accepts all these things and then he takes permission, he takes the blessings of Lord Jagannath and he leaves. So Balbhadra Bhattacharya and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are traveling through the forest path. He leaves early in the morning so that the devotees, they don't follow him. And Balbhadra, he would collect various types of grains, spinach, roots, fruits, wherever he would get some brahmanas, they would call him and Mahaprabhu would go to their place and he was very happy to be traveling through the forest of Jharikhand. We heard in the last class how Balbhadra Bhattacharya was completely astonished by the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As he was walking through the forest of Jharikhand, very ferocious animals were there. Mahaprabhu was making everyone chant and dance in Sankirtan. Tigers, elephants, deers, even birds. Even the trees were absorbed in the kirtan of the holy names. So we have discussed till verse number 56. In that it is described, Mahaprabhu, he is completely in prema avesha. He is absorbed in ecstasy. And he is traveling through various forests. Wherever he sees a river, he considers it to be Yamuna. He sees a mountain, he thinks it to be Govardhan. He dances and falls down on the ground sometimes. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya and Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they are walking. And whenever Mahaprabhu visits the village, some Brahmanas, they would invite him. Mahaprabhu would accept their invitation. Or in some places, some people would bring grains for the Lord and deliver to Balabhadra Bhattacharya, and Balabhadra, he would cook. Somebody would get milk and yogurt, somebody would get ghee and sugar. So that's how Balbhadra, he was taking care of all the basic needs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And wherever there were no Brahmanas, in some places there were no Brahmanas, but there were devotees who were born in non-Brahmana families. They also extended invitations to this Balbhadra Bhattacharya and Mahaprabhu accepted those invitations. यहाँ विप्र नहीं तहाँ शूद्र महाजन आसी सवे भट्टाचार्य करे निरंतरण. So this is a very important verse. Prabhupada emphasizes on this. Shudra Mahajan. He says Mahaprabhu accepted invitations from Shudra Mahajan. That means Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord himself, he accepted invitations from the people who were not Brahmanas, but they were devotees. Vaishnava, he is greater than a Brahman. And anyone who is a Vaishnava, he's automatically a Brahman. But all Brahmanas are not always Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada writes, a Mayavadi sannyasi will accept invitation only from a Brahman family. But a Vaishnava does not make such distinctions. He accepts invitations from the house of a person who is a Vaishnava. Doesn't matter if he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Vaishnava means the highest of all. Brahmananam sahasrebhya satrayaji bhishyate satrayaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta paraga sarva vedanta vitkotya vishnu bhakta vishishyate Vaishnavanam sahasrebhya ekant eko vishishyate. Out of thousands of Brahmanas, Vaishnavanam sahasrebhya, one who can do yajna, satrayaji vishishyate, he is better. Satrayaji sahasrebhya, out of those thousands who can do yajna, Sarva Vedanta Paraga, one who knows Vedanta, he is the best. Sarva Vedanta with Kotya, Vishnu Bhakta Vishishyate, out of thousands of Vedantists, Vishnu Bhakta is the best. And out of thousands of Vishnu Bhakta, one who knows Krishna, in truth, he is the Supreme. So therefore, the Vaishnavas, they are always the best, the highest. So Mahaprabhu, he is not considering, oh, he is a Shudra, he is a Vaishya, he is accepting invitations. So Prabhupada writes, this confirms the fact that anyone initiated by a Vaishnava mantra can be accepted as a Brahmin. Kiba Vipra, Kibanyasi Shudra Kenanoy, Ye Krishna Tattva Vitta Sei Guru Hoy. Anyone who knows Krishna Tattva, he can become a spiritual master. So Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he would cook all kinds of wonderful grains, wonderful prasad. He would stock grains that would last for 2-3 days. And wherever there were no people, he would just collect some vegetables and fruits and roots from the forest. And he would cook the grains and he would serve Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was so very happy in this simple setting. It was not at all austere for Mahaprabhu to be in the forest and eat simple grains and vegetables. In Jagannath Puri, he was served wonderful prasad, Jagannath Prasad, and all the devotees would call him. They would feed him best of the preparations. We have heard how Sarvam Bhattacharya and his wife cooked. But Mahaprabhu was happier staying in a solitary place. Bhattacharya seva kare sneha yeche das tara vipra bahe jala patra bahirvas. So Bhattacharya, he was sneha yeche das. So again and again, the quality of Bhattacharya, this Balbhadra Bhattacharya will be described. First, Swarup Damodar described, Swarup Damodar Goswami, Susnigdha, Pandit, Sadhu, Arya. Again, Kaviraj Goswami describes, he was affectionate to the Lord. Sneha Yaiche Das. He was affectionate servant. That's why he was rendering service like a menial servant. He was so very affectionate. Wherever there is affection, naturally the service is full of attention. So if somebody is not affectionate to the master, that person will not do service with, focus, with attention. If affection is there, attention will be there. Wherever the love is, a person wants to please the beloved. So therefore, Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he was an affectionate servant. He was not doing the seva as a routine, as a service given to him by authorities. He was having an affection for the Lord. So he would do everything needed so that the Lord is comfortable. And his assistant, other Brahmana, he would carry the pot and the garments of Mahaprabhu. Nircharete Ushnodaka Snanati Nabha Dui Sandhya Agnita Kashtera. So Mahaprabhu, he would take bath 3 times, 3 Sandhya with warm water on the waterfalls. There were various waterfalls in the forest. The Mahaprabhu would take bath there. And whenever it was cold, he would heat himself with, unlimited wood from the forest. Morning, evening, he would do that. And the most important thing, as he's doing all these things, Nirantara Premavesh Nirjane Gaman Sukhi Anubhavi Prabhu Kohina Bachan. As he's absorbed in the ecstasy of Krishna's love. Nirantara Premaveshe, he is always absorbed in ecstasy, Premavesh. Sukha Anubhavi, he is experiencing much joy. And in that joy, Mahaprabhu, he shows a wonderful example. He tells Balbhadra Bhattacharya, Shuna Bhattacharya mein yela bahudesh, vanapata dukkhir kaha nahi pailesh. He says, Oh Bhattacharya, although I have traveled very far in the forest, vanapata dukkhir kaha nahi pailesh. I am not even slightly disturbed by the forest path. And he says, Krishna kripalu amay bahut kripa koila, vanapathe ani amay bada sukha dila. He says, Krishna, he is so very merciful unto me. Krishna kripaye amay bahut kripa dila. Krishna is very, very merciful, compassionate. He is kripalu. He has shown such mercy on me. He has brought me to this forest path. Vanapathe ani amay bahu sukha dila. I am very happy. I am very pleased to be in this forest. Because I decided to go to Vrindavan previously, and I wanted to see my mother, Ganga, and then leave. And I thought that I'll take some devotees also with me to Vrindavan. That was my plan earlier. Mahaprabhu is now telling Balbhadra Bhattacharya. But when I started for Vrindavan, thousands and millions of people, they began to come to go with me. And then Mahaprabhu speaks a very, very important lesson. Sanatan mukhe Krishna ama shikhaila, taha vigna korivan patha layaila. Sanatan mukhe Krishna ama shikhaila. So Sanatan Goswami, when Mahaprabhu met him, just initiated by Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Aji se dohar naam Rupa Sanatan, daine chhad, daine tomar phate moram. He just gave initiation to Rupa Sanatan, and the first instruction he gives is, give up your humility is breaking my heart. Sanatan Goswami, immediately he says, you are going, oh Lord, you are going to Vrindavan with hundreds of people. It is not good. People will think that you are a pretender. You are some magician. It is not good. It is better to go to Vrindavan with one or two people. Sanatan mukhe Krishna ama sikhaila. Krishna has taught me through Sanatan Goswami, and he created some impediment and he brought me to this forest path. That's how a devotee always tries to see the obstacles in his path as Krishna's interventions. It's like Srila Prabhupada, when he was distributing some articles, pamphlets, and one person came and said, Swamiji, you are distributing these pamphlets and articles. People will read and then they'll throw it. You should write books. And Srila Prabhupada, he said, I took it as the order of Lord Krishna himself. It was an indication given by Lord that I should write books. That's how a devotee tries to see whatever is happening in his life as the blessings of the Lord. A devotee is always directed by the Lord. For ordinary people, Paramatma is a passive observer. Upadrashta Anumanta. He just observes the activities. But for a devotee, Krishna is an active guide. Paramatma is an active guide. He keeps on guiding every action. He keeps on speaking. Only thing which is required is we should learn to hear his voice. But the problem is currently our mind's voice is so loud that we can't hear Krishna's voice, Paramatma's voice. So the more one is prayerful, the more one can hear the voice of Krishna coming from within. And Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is showing through his personal example. Sanatana Mukhe Krishna Ama Shikhaila. Krishna taught me through Sanatan. And Mahaprabhu was not thinking, oh, Sanatan is a junior person. Who is he to tell me something? No. Krishna can teach us through anyone. So that's how Mahaprabhu is describing here. So Krishna created some impediment and now he has brought me to this Vrindavan through a forest path. I am so very happy. Kripara samudra Krishna dino doyamoy. Krishna kripa vina kona sukha nahi hoy. Kripara samudra Krishna dino doyamoy. Krishna is the ocean of mercy. He is especially merciful to poor and fallen. Krishna kripa vina kona sukha nahi hoy. Without mercy of Krishna, there is no happiness. No possibility of happiness. If Krishna is not showing mercy, nobody can be happy. If Krishna turns his face away from a person, there is no hope for that person. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narasimha nartasya chagadamudanvati majjato nau taptasya tatpratividhirya ihanja sheshta tavad vibhotanuvritam tadupekshitanam. So Prahlad Maharaj says, oh my Lord, if you neglect somebody, what is the hope for that person? A child cannot be protected by his parents if he is neglected by you. A patient cannot be cured by the doctor if he is neglected by you. A boat cannot take a person across the ocean if he is neglected by you. So therefore, Krishna kripa vina kona sukha. If Krishna is not merciful, there is no hope for becoming happy. And then speaking all this, Mahaprabhu embraced this Balbhadra Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya lingiya tahare kahila, tomar prasade ami eta sukha paila. Another wonderful thing is they say, tomar prasade ami eta sukha paila. So the principle of gratitude is ingrained in Supreme Lord. Whoever is helping him to execute his mission, Lord is always grateful. So because Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he is doing all the basic things, Mahaprabhu is so very grateful. He embraces Tomara Prasade Ami Eta Sukha Paila. By your mercy. Who is Balbhadra Bhattacharya to show mercy to Mahaprabhu? But that is how Mahaprabhu is. He is always grateful to anyone who helps in fulfilling his mission. And that's why Srila Prabhupada would always say, anyone who is preaching this message of Krishna consciousness is most dear to Krishna. And that's what Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita. So a preacher of Krishna consciousness naturally becomes dear to Krishna because the greatest mission of Krishna in this world is to bring the fallen conditioned souls back to him. So Lord is very pleased and obliged to the preachers. Tomara prasade ami eta sukha paila. So Balbhadra, when he hears this, he becomes really embarrassed. He says, "Oh my Lord, who am I? You are Supreme Lord. You are Krishna. Te ho kahena tumi Krishna tumi doyamay. Adhama jiva mui more hoila saday." So Balbhadra, he is not thinking, "Oh yes, I am doing so many services." He is thinking, he is saying, "Oh my Lord, you are Krishna, you are most merciful. Eho kahe tumi Krishna tumi doyamoy. And who am I? Adhama jiva mui more hoila saday. And I am such a fallen, insignificant living entity. You have mercifully brought me with you. What can be a greater fortune than serving Krishna personally? Panthast koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavana sopyas yat prapadasimnya vichinta tattvai. The sages and the yogis are doing tapasya for millions of years. They can't see even the tip of the toe of the Lord. And Balbhadra is getting a chance to serve the Lord, to cook for the Lord, to serve the Lord, wash his clothes, take care of the daily things. Who can be more merciful? Only when Krishna shows mercy, somebody can do all these things for him. So therefore, he's saying, I am so fallen. Adhama jiva mui. I am insignificant, fallen, living entity. You have become merciful to me. Mui char more tumi sangalayya kripa kari moro hate prabhu bhiksha koila. I am so insignificant, mui char. I am fallen, and you have brought me with you, and you are accepting food made by me. What can be a greater fortune than this? The chance to serve the Lord and chance to serve the pure devotees of the Lord is the rarest of the rare opportunity. And what about serving, what to speak of serving pure devotee? Serving any devotee, getting a chance to serve devotees is itself rare opportunity. Durapa hyalpa tapasa seva vaikuntha vartvasu yatropagiyate nityam deva devo janardana. It is a rare opportunity to serve those who are on the progressive path of liberation. That means those who are sadhakas. So what to speak of if somebody gets a chance to serve Krishna directly? So he's saying, you have shown such a great mercy to me and you have accepted food made by me. Adhama lokera koila adhama kakera koila garuda sama swatantra ishwar tumi swayam bhagavan. You have made a abominable crow into a garuda. I am condemned like a crow. You have made me garuda. You have given me such respect. What was my qualification? I had no qualification. But because you are Swatantra Ishvara Tumi Swayam Bhagavan, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are independent, so you can do anything. You have made a abominable crow into a Garuda. Adhama Kakera Koila Garuda Saman. And then he speaks a famous verse. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. The mercy of Supreme Lord is such that Yat Kripa, Supreme Lord, who is Paramananda, who is embodiment of Satchidananda, by his mercy, even a dumb can speak eloquent poetry. Even a lame can cross mountains. Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande. That's why I am offering my obeisance to you. So in this way, Balbhadra, he offered his beautiful prayers. Mata Balbhadra Korenastavan Prema Seva Kori Tushta Koila Prabhuraman Prema Seva Kari. Again, Kaviraj Goswami is glorifying the attitude of Balbhadra Bhattacharya. Prema Sneva, Snigdhayaraman. He was serving in a very affectionate way. Prema Seva. Again and again, Kaviraj Goswami is using this word, Prema Seva Kari. So a person, if he has love, naturally, the service becomes wonderful. So that is a way to serve the Lord. It should be filled with love. Prema Seva Kari. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Uparitam Ashnami. If somebody offers with love and devotion, then Krishna accepts it. Otherwise, Krishna is not in need of this. Finally, crossing the forest of Jharikhanda and crossing various villages, Mahaprabhu reaches Varanasi, also called as Kashi. There, he took his bath on the ghat of Manikarnika. So Prabhupada writes something about this Manikarnika. So Kashi, Banaras, Varanasi, they are same. So Manikarnika is famous because it is said that one time Lord Vishnu's earrings fell there. Or some people say Lord Shiva's earring fell. Mani means jeweled earring. Karnika means from the ear. That's why this place is very, very auspicious, very, very powerful place. And it is said by some that Lord Vishwanath, Lord Shiva, he personally comes and cures the disease of material existence. He is a supreme physician who cures the disease of material existence by chanting the names of Lord Ram in the ears of a person who dies there in Kashi. So that's why it is very significant for people to go and leave their body in Varanasi or Kashi. It is said there is no place better than the place where Ganga is flowing, and there is no bathing ghat better than Manikarnika Ghat. Because Manikarnika is specially sanctified by the presence of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishwanath. Srila Prabhupada quotes from Kashi Khanda in this few verses he quotes, which tells that one who gives up the body at Manikarnika is liberated simply by remembering Lord Shiva's names. So Tapan Mishra, as we have heard previously, when Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Gaya and to Bengal, he had met this personality, Tapan Mishra. And in Gaya, as he met this Tapan Mishra, he was very expert in reading various scriptures, but he was not able to understand the essence of the scriptures. Bahu Shastre, Bahu Vakye, Chitte Brahma Hoy, Sadhya sadhana shreshta na hoy nishchay. And he was really a sincere seeker. One time, a personality, a very effulgent personality came in his dream and he said, tomorrow morning, the first person whom you see, he is Supreme Lord, surrender to him. The next morning, Tapan Mishra met Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And ultimately, Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave instructions to Tapan Mishra, told him how to perfect his life by chanting the names of the Lord, and gave him an order. You go to Varanasi. Tapan Mishra was ready to come with him to Navadvip. But sometimes Krishna, he gives some instructions which may look little difficult to understand. Of course, most of the times, whatever Krishna does is difficult to understand for any ordinary person. Just like in the Bhishma and Yudhishthir Samvad in the first canto, Bhishma Dev himself says, nobody can understand. Nahi asya karhichit rajan puman ved viditsitam yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. Even great personalities are bewildered. They cannot understand why Lord is doing what he is doing. So Tapan Mishra, he was really sad. Why you are sending me to Varanasi of all the places? Varanasi is full of Mayavadis. But Mahaprabhu had a plan. He knew what will happen in Varanasi. Why Mahaprabhu sent Tapan Mishra to Varanasi? Because Varanasi was the hub of great gurus. Of course, they were all Mayavadis. And Tapan Mishra, he also became very, very powerful priest there. And the son of Kashi, Tapan Mishra, he became very, very influential. And he became the guru of the kings of Mewar. And the son of Tapan Mishra, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he became a very, very powerful guru. He was the guru of Mansingh, and he was the one who instructed Mansingh and all the kings of Rajasthan, Amir kings, to build temples. Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were not so much into all temple building and all that. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was very influential. So that's why Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu sent Tapan Mishra to Varanasi, because he had a plan how to expand the mission. So as Mahaprabhu is taking bath in Manikarnika Ghat, Tapan Mishra is also taking bath there. And Tapan Mishra, as soon as he sees Mahaprabhu, he is astonished, because he had heard that, oh, Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas. And now, when he saw Mahaprabhu, he was jubilant. He immediately clasped the feet of Mahaprabhu and he started crying. It was not expected. He was not expecting that he will see Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, he embraced him. He raised him up and embraced him. Tapan Mishra took him to his house, and then he took him to the temple of, before that, he took him to the temple of Vishweshwara, Kashi Vishwanath. He took darshan there. From there, they went to Bindu Madhav temple. Bindu Madhav is the main temple in Varanasi. Prabhupada writes about Bindu Madhav temple. It is the oldest temple in Varanasi. Varanasi is a place where 5 rivers, they converge. Now, of course, only Ganga is seen. Prabhupada writes about 5 rivers. Dhut Papa, Kirana, Saraswati, Ganga and Yamuna. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Kirana and Dhut Papa. And Prabhupada writes how the old temple was dismantled by Aurangzeb and he built a mosque there. And later, this temple, current temple, was built nearby. And in that temple, there are the deities of Lakshmi Narayan, 4-handed Narayan, and Lakshmi Devi is there. and there is a Garuda Stambh, and you'll always also find a deity of Ram, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanumanji there. So Prabhupada writes all these details. So Mahaprabhu and Tapan Mishra, they are taking darshan of all these temples, and ultimately Tapan Mishra brings Mahaprabhu to his home. He washes the feet of Mahaprabhu. Entire family drank the Charnamrit, the Charnamrit of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And one important thing which Tapan Mishra did, he also worshipped Balbhadra Bhattacharya. That's very important. Worship of the Lord and worship of the devotees of the Lord, they are both equally important. In fact, the scriptures say worship of the devotees better. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati. Tadiyanam samarchanam. Better than worship of Vishnu is the worship of the devotees of the Lord. You know the story of Lord Ram and Lakshmana. They were in the forest. They met Sugriva, and Sugriva, he welcomed Lord Ram, gave him a nice place to sit, but he forgot to welcome and gave a seat to Lakshmana. Hanumanji immediately arranged for that. Because of that offense, Lord Ram wanted to teach a lesson. That's why Sugriva had to be beaten by Bali. Another place, there is a story of Ramanujacharya. As Ramanujacharya was traveling and he was going to one place, he sent two of his disciples that you please go and inform these two devotees that I am coming. The one was one disciple of Ramanujacharya. He was a very rich person. And other was a simple, Brahmana. As soon as the disciples, they gave message to this very rich disciple that Ramanujacharya is coming, he was so very happy. He started making all the arrangements, wonderful prasad, wonderful staying facility, decorating entire house for welcoming of Sri Ramanujacharya. And these two disciples, they were very astonished and impressed to see his Guru Bhakti. And they went and informed Ramanujacharya that, he is really eager to welcome you. So Ramanujacharya said, well, how did he welcome both of you? So they said, well, he didn't welcome us because he was so very excited. He forgot. So then Ramanujacharya said, okay, you go and meet other, devotee and inform that I am coming. So these two devotees, they went to this Brahman, and this Brahman, he was also very happy. But first he invited these two devotees and welcomed them, gave him a nice place to sit, washed their feet, gave some prasad. And then he started doing whatever simple arrangements he could do. So when these disciples, they went back and Ramanujacharya was asked, he was asking, how did he respect you, welcome you? He said, oh, they said, he respected and welcomed us very nicely. Ramanujacharya said, we will go to this person. We will not go to that rich disciple. Because if somebody is not offering respects to their God brothers or disciples, and just focusing on serving Guru, that is not a good mentality. So here we can see Tapan Mishra, he welcomed Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and he respected and worshipped Balbhadra Bhattacharya also. Tapan Mishra invited Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch at his home. Every day he said, you please come and take lunch at my place only. And sometimes he would arrange some grains and tell Balbhadra Bhattacharya to cook. Srila Prabhupada writes, Mahaprabhu, he stayed at the house of Tapan Mishra And near Tapan Mishra's house was a bathing ghat called Panchanadi Ghat. Mahaprabhu would take bath on this ghat every day. Then he would go to take darshan of Bindu Madhava. Then he would come and take lunch at Tapan Mishra's house. After taking lunch, he would take rest under a huge banyan tree just besides Bindu Madhav temple. Every day he would do that. And that tree is still known as Caitanya. But because of some, language changes, now this tree is called as Jatannavat. So that's how the language changes. So Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, after he would take lunch, the small son of Tapan Mishra, Raghu, he would massage the legs of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the power of serving. By serving Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, this Raghu became Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. And all the family members, they would get the remnants of Mahaprabhu's prasad every day. The news spread that this great sannyasi Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has come. Chandrasekhar came to meet him. He also fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu. He was an old friend of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He knew him from Navadip. He also became very ecstatic, began to cry. Mahaprabhu stood up, embraced him, and Chandrasekhar said, "Oh my dear Lord, you have bestowed such causeless mercy upon me. I am insignificant, but you have personally come all the way to give me darshan. That is your extreme mercy. Because of my misdeeds, I am staying here in Varanasi. Varanasi is not a place to stay for Vaishnavas. Here, I am only hearing the words Maya, Brahman. This place is full of philosophical speculation, mental speculation." So Prabhupada writes, Chandrasekhar, he was a devotee. And for a devotee, he is only interested in hearing about Krishna. For him, the talks of Brahman and Maya, that is not at all so palatable. Kaivalyam narakayate, it is like hellish. To hear about liberation, it is hellish for a devotee. And a devotee is always eager to hear about Krishna. He is not interested to hear about any of the things of the world, even dharma, artha, kama, moksha. When Vidurji meets Maitreya, Vidurji tells, "Can you please speak about Krishna? I have heard about dharma, artha, kama, moksha a lot from my father Vyasdev." Paravaresham Bhagwan Vratani Hyutani me Vyasamkhada Bhikshnam Atripnumashulla Sukhavahana Tesham Rite Krishna Kathamrita Udhat. He says, Para Avara, I have heard about dharma of this world and moksha, both sunai. Bhagavan Vratani Shrutani me. I have heard, oh my Lord, I have heard a lot from Vyasdev, Vyasmukhat. Atripnuma, they have not satisfied me. They have given me very little pleasure. Shulla Sukhavahana. Tesham Rite Krishna Katha. Because in that discussion, there is no Krishna Katha Amrita Ogha. Ogha means a huge ocean of nectar. Ogha. Maitreya says, he must have heard about Krishna also a lot, right? You are born in the family of Krishna. You are in the dynasty of Krishna. Maitreya says, who can be satisfied hearing about Krishna? Kastripnuyat tirtapado vidhana satreshu vasuriviridhyamana yakarnanadim purushasya yato bhava pradam ge haratim chinatti. Kastripnuyat, who can be satisfied hearing about Krishna? When Krishna Katha enters the ears of the devotee, cuts off all the attachments. All the attachment for this world goes away. So Chandrasekhar, he was not at all happy. Only hearing about Brahman and speculation, all that. Prabhupada writes, most of the inhabitants of Banaras, they were impersonalists. or and they were worshippers of this Pancha Upasana, 5 devatas: Vishnu, Ganesh, Shiva, Surya, and Durga. So they don't worship Vishnu as a supreme god, they worship Vishnu as a devata only. Prabhupada writes, all these are Pancha Upasakas, but they are not devotee of anyone, because a servant of everyone is servant of no one. So these Mayavadis, they worship these 5 devatas because they want to just ultimately cross over them and become Brahman. And then Prabhupada writes a strong line. Kashi is a place of impersonalists, and a devotee is, it is not at all suitable for a devotee to go to Varanasi, because Varanasi is not at all conducive for spiritual practice, bhakti. So of course, the devotee, if the devotees are there, any place is good. Nayatra Vaikunta Katha Sudhapaga Nasadavo Bhagavata Sadashraya Nayatra Yagyesh Makha Mahotsava Suresh Loko Pinavesha Sepyatam. If there is no Krishna Katha going on, no association of devotee, no festivals for the glorification of the Lord, devotee is not interested in going there, even if it is heaven. So Prabhupada writes, a devotee is not interested in going to this Varanasi. A Vaishnava likes to be in Vishnu Tirtha, a place where Lord Krishna has performed his pastimes. And in Varanasi, there are thousands of Lord Shiva temples. And the only talk which is going on there is about impersonal liberation, about Pancha Upasana, about Mayavad. So Chandrasekhar was not at all happy. So he's expressing his unhappiness. He says, I am so sinful that I have taken birth here. I have to stay here. Out of humility, he's speaking like this because Srila Prabhupada writes, for a devotee, there is no sinful reaction. Karmani nirdhati kintucha bhakti bhajam. A devotee is not subjected to karma phal, Prabhupada writes. He is not subjected to fruitive activity. Anything happening in the life of a devotee, it is orchestrated by the Supreme Lord himself. Because devotee, the practice of devotional service, that is Klesh Agni. Even the first chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra with faith that Krishna and the name of Krishna is not different. And I have to develop my relation with the Supreme Lord. Krishna is supreme. With that faith, if somebody chants, that is sufficient to destroy all the sinful reactions. Prabhupada quotes this verse from Padma Purana. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramena eva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. The practice of Vishnu bhakti, it is sufficient to destroy all the sins which are manifesting, the reactions which are manifesting, which have not manifested yet, the desire to do sinful activity, that is also destroyed. So that is the power of Vishnu Bhakti. So Chandrasekhar says, actually there is no talk of Krishna Bhakti here, only I hear about 6 philosophical theses. And only Tapan Mishra is kind to me. He speaks about Krishna, we discuss Krishna Katha. So Prabhupada talks about the 6 systems of philosophy: Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Yoga, Sankhya, Karma Mimamsa, and Brahma Mimamsa. Amongst these 6, only the Brahma Mimamsa, also called as Vedanta, that is accepted by the Vaishnavas. Rest all others, they are not at all interested, not at all favorable for the practice of bhakti. So Prabhupada writes, what is Vedanta? Krishna says, what is Vedanta? Vedesha sarvai rahameva vedyo Vedanta krit eva videva chaham. I am the compiler of Vedanta. So therefore, by the study of Vedanta, I am to be known. But Mayavadis, they call themselves Vedanti. But they don't know who is Krishna. So they are misleading people. They are giving false interpretation. So this Shankara interpretation. That is not the bona fide interpretation, because by study of Vedanta, one should know Krishna. Krishna is very clearly telling in Bhagavad Gita. And if somebody is not following that, that is not doing the right thing. So Chandrasekhar says, oh, this Tapan Mishra, he is so very merciful. He speaks about Krishna. And both of us, we are only thinking of your lotus feet incessantly. And now, by your mercy, we have received your audience. We are so very happy. And they say, oh my Lord, we have heard that you are going to Vrindavan. Till the time you are here, please stay in Varanasi. And please stay for some more days. And stay in my house, Tapan Mishra says. Stay with me, stay at my house. And please don't take invitation from anyone else. Because it was a rare opportunity. He says, stay for 10 days. Mahaprabhu stayed for 10 days there. Ei matam Mahaprabhu dui firtere vashe, ichha nahi tabu tathar hilad dina dashe. The Lord is constantly showing, repeatedly showing how he is controlled by the love of his devotees. Ei matam Mahaprabhu dui firtere vashe. He is in control of his two devotees, the love of these devotees. Ichha nahi. He had no plans for it. He didn't want to stay there, but still he stayed for 10 days just to show mercy to Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar, because Tapan Mishra, he had done such a great sacrifice of leaving everything and coming to Varanasi, staying amidst only Mayavadis with no association, only because Mahaprabhu has given instructions. In Varanasi, there was a Maharashtrian Brahmin, and he would come every day to take darshan of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was simply astonished to see the effulgence and the beauty of Mahaprabhu, the love which Mahaprabhu was displaying. So when other Brahmanas, they would invite Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu would not accept invitation from any of them because they were not devotees. He would Mahaprabhu was very expert in dealings with people. He would never offend anyone. He would never speak harsh words. That's how we should learn. How Mahaprabhu he just refused. He said, "I am already invited by someone else." He didn't say, "Oh, you are not a Vaishnava. I will not accept. Oh, I am already invited by someone else." Every day, somebody would come and give an invitation, Mahaprabhu would refuse. Because everybody was Mayavadi. Mahaprabhu didn't want to be with Mayavadi, sit with Mayavadis. Prabhupada writes there, that is the ideal principle of a Vaishnava sannyasi. A Vaishnava sannyasi should accept invitation only from a devotee, never ever associate with Mayavadi sannyasis, forget about eating with them. This Brahman, he would come every day and he would see the glory of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Brahman, he goes to Prakashananda Saraswati. Prakashananda Saraswati was a powerful scholar, the head of all the sannyasis in Varanasi. Srila Prabhupada describes about him in purport. He quotes from Madhya Khanda, Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he is speaking to Murari Gupta and he takes the mood of Varahadev. And in the mood of Varahadev, he speaks, Hastapada Mukhamura Nahika Lochan, Eimata Vede Mure Kore Vidamban. He says, Vedas, they mock me by accusing me of having no hands, no legs, no mouth, no eyes. And this Prakashananda of Kashi, Kashi te padaye beta Prakashananda, say beta kore moro anga khanda khanda. This wretch in Kashi, Prakashananda, He is cutting my body to pieces while teaching Mayavad. He's teaching Vedas, but he is cutting my body. Vakhanaye Vedamura Vigraha Namane Sarva Anga Hoila Kushta Tabu Nahi Jane. Because he's making such a great offense, he became afflicted with leprosy. Still, he is not able to understand that my body is pure. It is supremely pure. Sarvanga, Sarva Yagyamaya Murayanga Pavitra, Aja Bhava Adigaye Yahara Charitra. Brahma, Shiva, and all the devtas, they are glorifying my personal form, and he is rejecting my form. By touching my body, everyone becomes pure, and he's saying my body is false. So this Prakashananda, this sannyasi Prakashananda, he's cutting me to pieces. Because of this offense, I gave him leprosy. Still he's not understanding. Still he is teaching the same philosophy. So Prabhupada quotes this from Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Prabhupada writes how Krishna says Vedeshcha Sarvai Rahami Vivedyo, but Mayavadis they misinterpret. They don't accept the form of Krishna. And such a person is a demon. Prabhupada writes, how can somebody be purified by worshipping a false form? So these Mayavadis, because they don't worship, they will never be purified. They'll always suffer. And he says, by worshipping the form of the Lord, people get purified. How can the form of the Lord be false? So actually, there is no valid reason for impersonalists to speak whatever they are saying, but still, they blindly follow their principle, although it is not supported by scriptures, by any reason, by any argument. So this Brahman, he saw, so this another one Brahman, he saw wonderful behavior of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and he goes and tells Prakashananda Saraswati, Eko sannyasi oila Jagannath hoite, tahara mahima pratap na parivarnite. A sannyasi has come from Jagannath Puri. I cannot describe his influence. Tahar mahima pratap, I cannot describe his influence and the glories. Sakala dekhiya tate adbhuta kathan. Prakanda sharir shuddha kanchana baran. He is so very effulgent. He has a very, very brilliant body, well built, luxuriant, golden complexion. His hands are reaching to his knees, and he has very beautiful lotus eyes. And seeing him, one can understand that he is Supreme Lord. All the symptoms of the Supreme Lord are present in his body. Taha dekhe jnana hoy yahi Narayan, yahi tara dekhe kore Krishna Sankirtan. Anybody who sees him starts chanting the names of Krishna. He says, we have heard in Bhagavatam about the qualities of first class devotee Mahabhagavat. All the symptoms are present in this person. It is unparalleled to see the ecstasy of this personality. He's always chanting the names of Krishna. Tears are coming off his eyes like Ganga. Sometimes he's chanting, sometimes dances, laughs, cries. Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya jata nurago drutachitta uchchai hasatyatharo datiroti gayan unmadavan nrityati loka bahya. These are the symptoms mentioned in Bhagavatam. So this personality, this Brahman is saying, oh, the symptoms are seen in him. Jagat Mangal Tara Krishna Chaitanya Nam Rupa Guna Tara Sabha Anupam. His name, Krishna Chaitanya, is all auspicious. His name, form, qualities, they are all unparalleled. Simply by seeing him, one can understand that he is Supreme Lord. Nobody can be like him. Prakashananda Saraswati, when he hears this, he just laughs. And in a very joking way, he laughs at that Brahman and says, Oh, I have heard about that Chaitanya. Shuniyachi Gaur Deshera Sannyasi Bhavuk. Oh, I have heard he's a sentimental sannyasi from Gaudadesh, from Bengal. And he's a disciple of Prakashananda, this Keshav Bharati, not a high class sannyasi. He is a pakka pretender, Lok Pratarak. So Prabhupada writes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he's always at the stage of bhava, so of course he'll be seen as a bhavuk. And Mahaprabhu's ecstatic symptoms cannot be compared with ordinary mundane people who imitate these ecstasies. This sahajiya, because after imitating this emotions, they go back to their sinful activities of smoking, drinking, and doing wrong things. So Mayavadis, they cannot understand the transcendental symptoms of ecstasy. And Rupa Goswami, he says this Prakashananda, because he is not understanding the qualities of Krishna, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is artificially renouncing the world. He is a Phalgu Vairagi. Prakashananda, he continues. I know that his name is Chaitanya and he is accompanied by many followers. Bhavuk Bhaiya Phire Bhavuke Rasane. We have heard in the Adi Lila also. I've heard that he dances and he travels from country to country. He's a magician. He's expert in influencing people. He has some mystic powers, and that's why everybody accepts him as Supreme Lord. That Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was such a wonderful Pandit, but by associating with him, he became a madman. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya Pandita Prabal, Shuni Chaitanya Rasangya Hoila Pagal. Pagal ho gaya. Such a wonderful Pandit he was. He became mad just by associating with Sri Chaitanya. So this sannyasi, Chaitanya is sannyasi in the name only. He is a magician. He is sentimental. But his sentimentalism will not have effect in Kashi. So he tells this Brahman, you don't go and associate with him. Just continue hearing Vedanta, otherwise you'll be destroyed in this life and in the next life. So that's how this Prakashananda tells Brahmana. So what happens to this Brahman? I will discuss next time. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.